I'm Simone Simpson from Wondering Yoga Cafe Entertainment, and welcome to our weekly rundown. Today's topic, alternate day fasting. I've been alternate day fasting for 3 weeks. This is week 3, and today you're going to get the rundown. Alternate day fasting. I'm going to start over. I'm Simone Simpson from Wondering Yoga Cafe Entertainment. Welcome to our weekly rundown. Today's topic, week 3 of alternate day fasting. Alternate day fasting is a type of intermittent fasting. And today you're going to get the rundown from week 3. You're going to hear all about it, what happened, how I felt, how I'm feeling. You're going to get the rundown. And I want to thank you for being here today. Remember to subscribe, hit that little subscribe button right there. Thank you so much. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I appreciate your likes, your subscribes. Thank you so much. Today, we are going to talk about 5 main topics. That's our Fab 5 that we talk about. What I'm eating on my fueling days. I officially now call it fueling days because I had the chance to experiment with different types of foods, and now I'm putting fuel in. So what I eat on my fueling days, what I'm eating on my fasting days, tips to stay on your fasting days. That's the secret sauce. That's super important, those tips. The results and today's dinner. So that's a Fab 5 for today. Let's get right into it with sharing my intention. And I invite you to take this on, to adjust it, alter it, make it your own. I am on my way to the healthiest I've ever been. I'm starting a new life. This is the 3rd week. I'm on my way. I'm on my way to the healthiest I've ever been. I'm starting a new life. This is the 3rd week. I'm on my way. And I just really love that because this is the 3rd week. All you have to do is start, just start. And this is the 3rd week. So let's start with what I'm eating on my fueling days. They are officially now fueling days. The first 2 weeks, they were eating days. Now I've graduated their fueling days, and here's why. I am staying low carb, and it's not just low carb because I talked a little bit about low carb last week. It is the types of carbs that I'm eating. Whole foods. I'm not having the low carb treats because that does something. It just makes me want to snack. Versus when I just have whole foods, I'm satiated. That's it. I'm done. Not thinking about food. I'm thinking about yoga or something. I'm not sure what I'm thinking about, but definitely not food. So it's the types of food. So today I had pistachios this morning. I had, they were flavored. What was it? Habanero lime. Yeah, I had habanero lime pistachios, and those are low carb. So for 1/4 of a cup, it's just 6 net carbs. So that's a really good low carb snack that's filling. So I had some pistachios, and then my meal was from the keto meal kit that I order, and I had a soup. So I'll share that with you. I'll show you the meal card a little bit later on, but that's what I had today. It was whole foods. I ate my meal hours ago. I'm not even thinking about food. The weeks when I was eating those snacks, I literally was trying to eat until I got to bed because I was thinking, oh, I'm not eating tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm fasting, but I'm so satiated now. It's just not even, food is just an afterthought. And so I'm fasting tomorrow. I'll go into it strong. So I'm ready for it. And we are affected by what we know. And what we know affects your income. It affects your health, your friendships, your future. We are affected by what we know. A 7-day water fast reduces your chances of ever getting cancer by 70%. That's 70%. That to me is profound. I had to sit quietly when I first learned that information. A 7-day water fast. So if you do a 7-day water fast every 6 months, your chances of ever getting any type of cancer is reduced by 70%. That's just with a 7-day water fast. So I learned that information, and now I'm looking at the alternate day fasting as conditioning so that I can get my body to a point where I can comfortably do a 7-day fast. Honestly, to be honest, I thought I was doing a 7-day fast yesterday. I was like, this is day one. I'm going to go 7 days. I'm going to tell everyone tomorrow. And then by the end of the day, I was like, no, I'm going to eat tomorrow. So I made it an eating day. But I will condition myself and get ready. From the research that I've done with alternate day fasting, you get to a point where you'll get to your eating day and you're just not hungry. Well, you skip that day and now you're at 2 days. So I look forward to that day. I will definitely share it when I get there. But this is my conditioning for that, because if that's all that it takes, I want to jump on that bandwagon. And my guru, I'm a Kriya. That's a whole other life and things that I do that are so important to me. But wants us to do a 1-day fast once a week, a 3-day fast once a month, and a 7-day fast once a year. And so now that I'm getting now that I'm ready to receive this information about the diet and the science, and it's all in there, my guru gave it to us, but I'm just ready for it now. And I'm like, 7 days, that's it. That's all, to reduce it by 70%. So Dr. Jamnadas, he's a cardiovascular surgeon. So he's been prescribing the standard American diet, calories in, calories out, and exercise for 25, 30 years to patients, and just seeing minimal results, because after he's performing the surgery, he's like, we've got to maintain health. We've got to get your weight down. We've got to get these numbers down. We've got to get the diabetes controlled, et cetera, because they're coming in with these illnesses. And nothing worked for weight loss until he started studying fasting and prescribing fasting to his patients. And so now that's what he does. He's prescribing fasting to his patients. And he said that he saw results almost immediately with the fasting. And he said that if you're his patient and you go into the hospital for surgery, he's putting you on NPO, which means nothing by mouth. So he's putting you on NPO. So I just thought that was profound, hearing that from a physician. Dr. Jamnadas is his name, and he just has so much good information on the health benefits of fasting. And we're affected by what we know. We are affected by what we know. And now that you know that a 7-day water fast can reduce your chances of ever getting cancer by 70%. It's up to you what to do with that information, but it affects you. It will affect you. It will affect everything you do from now on. It will affect your fasting. If you're alternate day fasting as well, it's going to have an effect. So I wanted to share that with you. The second thing I want to talk about again is what I'm eating on my fasting days. And I know I'm trying to squeeze those words together, maybe make some new oxymoron, eating fasting, but I'm not actually eating on my fasting day. I have 2 telomere supplements in the morning. And I have another supplement. It's a girly supplement. So I do that. So I have 3 supplements in the mornings. And then I have coffee with unsweetened vanilla almond milk. And then I have water all day long. This is so good. Oh, wow. I love water. And I have water all day long. I usually have tea at some point. I have delicious teas, and I'll put, again, the unsweetened almond milk in the tea, but that's what I have on my fasting days. That's it. And I don't do shakes or smoothies or anything like that. That is what I have. And so that's what I have on my fasting days. The coffee, I love that ritual in the mornings, but that's important. You've got to be a student, just studying, just learning. And that's what I do every day. I'm learning something. I'm studying my craft. I'm studying alternate day fasting, just getting new information. So you've got to be a student. And what you can do with that is kind of wake up your life. If you feel mundane, well, if you learn something new, you might find that what you're learning ends up being a hobby, ends up being a business, ends up being a career. So you've got to be a student, got to be a student. And the third thing The third Fab Five is tips to stay on your fast on your fasting days. This is the secret sauce. This is the nitty gritty of it. So definitely, if you're wanting to take notes, this is the time to take notes. That affirmation is a good one too, but you want to take notes here. So the tip from week one, we get one tip a week. Week one secret sauce to staying on your fast on your fasting days is, what do you think it is? Water. Yep. Anytime you start to feel hungry, drink water. It's the magic solution. It works. We know why it works because years ago, people were eating whole foods. So there's a lot of water in whole foods. So if your body was thirsty, it would tell you to eat. Well, now people are eating processed foods. So you're not getting water from that. It's actually leaching water from the body. So water is the number one tip. That was from week one. Week two's tip was greens and supplements on your fueling days. Something green. My soup today, I had a lot of green beans in it, but something green and fresh on your fueling days, and supplements, a high quality supplement. Again, there's a link below. I'll put a link below if you're wanting to get some supplements. And that's tip number two from week two. Tip number three from week three, which is this week, is low carbs, but not just low carbs, the types of carbs that you're eating, that matters. I was playing around with low carbs last week, and it was just that, it was playing around because it wasn't working. Now that I've switched to actual whole foods in low carbs, it has changed the game. It is a game changer. Like I said, I ate my meal hours ago. That's it. I will have a lot of water tonight, but I'm not going to eat again. I ate already. So that's what Whole Foods does for you. And it will make your fasting days. Well, I'll let you know next week how my fasting days feel. But definitely, so those are the three tips so far, the secret sauce. And it is important to make sure the greatest pull of your life is the pull of your future. The greatest pull of your life is the pull of your future. So having that idea, that plan, where you're going, what you're healing, what you're going to do, what is your goal? If you're alternate day fasting, what is your why? On my first day, 3 weeks ago, day one, I was going to eat and start the next day. And then I remember my why and I went, oh, this isn't just some diet. I was like, I'm healing my body. I was like, oh, it was super easy to stay on. So remember your why. So think about what your goal is, the number one thing that you are looking to do with this. And then a number 2, 3, 4, and 5. Once you've got those 5 reasons, your 5 whys, that will be a pull. And that should be the strongest pull from your future, because things from your past will pull you back. And when you're going ahead, you've got a plan. That's where we're looking to go. And I'm committed. In 20 years, I will be the healthiest I've ever been. In 20 years, I will be the healthiest I've ever been. That's another intention that I'm setting. I really like that because it's not radical changes that I'm doing, radically changing my entire life. I'm just doing a few tweaks, a couple of small things. I'm alternate day fasting, and I do 100 sit-ups a day. I also do a split series a day, the middle and both sides. So I do the splits every day. And because splits is something you have to do every day or you lose them. You can't not do your splits. But that is what I do. And so in 20 years, the healthiest I've ever been. Yeah, I'm excited about that. Results. Oh my goodness. I did get on the scale today after I had eaten. So the number I showed was the same as last week, but I had already eaten. So at first I wasn't going to weigh, and I was like, well, no, let me just get on the scale. At least that way I've done it, but I'd already eaten. So we'll see next week. I will remember, even if I have to set a reminder in my phone to weigh when I wake up. I think the last 2 weeks I was super excited. Now I'm in the groove and I just didn't get on the scale, but I'll get on the scale first thing in the morning next time before I eat, so that you know what those numbers are. But I noticed, like this morning when I got up, there's this affirmation I say in the morning. It's written on a card, so it's pretty long. And I say that in the mirror, and I was looking at my face and I was like, wow, I can really tell in my face that, my facial structure is changing. So looking smaller, more narrow, going in a little bit. So I'm sure the results are positive, but I will get to that next week. I even measured, it was the same measurement as last week, but I had already eaten. So I think that's good because I weigh first thing in the morning in a fasted state. So this morning it was after I'd eaten. And so I was like, well, it's not the same, but we'll see next week. So I will let you know that. Part of what I want to talk about for results, and this is important, I had a migraine today. I actually was working today and I was planning to do about 10 hours or so, but I was just really kind of fighting with this migraine. My eye just wanted to be shut. So then I was like, okay, at like 8 hours in, I was like, okay, that's it, I'm done. And so I made this little concoction for headaches with essential oils. So I filled it up about a fourth with essential oils and then the rest with olive oil. That was like the carrier oil. Put it on. I've done this a couple of times for headaches, not with the carrier oil, but I just put the drops in my hand. And I was like, wow, it works immediately. So I did it today and it didn't work. I was just laying in the bed like, oh my goodness, that's why it's dark right now. Usually I film and it's daylight, but I was laying in the bed with this headache. So then I thought maybe because the carrier oil was there, let me just put the drops in my hand. So I have the oils. It's peppermint, it's frankincense, and lavender. So what you do, I'm going to show you because this was incredible. You just get a drop. So we'll do 1 drop of lavender. 1 drop of peppermint. And 1 drop of frankincense. I want you to see it there. And the booklet that I have suggests, I had to smell the lid to see which lid that was, suggests putting it a line at your forehead here and a line at the back. I also put a little bit here because that's where my headache is. Whenever I get a headache, it's always in the same place. So right here and right here. So I did that. Now, mind you, I had been lying down for hours with a headache. I don't know, 3 hours or so, and it hadn't changed. And I wasn't sleepy because my diet is so clean that I'm just not sleepy. I have a lot of energy. So I was laying there, and once I put this oil on, within, I don't know, a couple of minutes, it reduced the headache by 80%. So I wanted to share that with you. If you're interested in oils, I will put a link below and you can click on the link and order some. These are high quality oils. The types of oils you use, it does matter. You don't want to go to your local market and pick up oils. You want to make sure that you've done some research to the types of oils that you're using. This oil I researched. There are a couple of places where there's another place I used to get oils, and then I was hesitant to even switch because I'd done so much research on that other place. And then I started researching these oils, and I really like these because you can get a commission when people purchase from you. And I think that's how everything should be. I was teaching healthy living classes years ago, and I feel like probably by word of mouth referred, I'll say roughly 500 people to Whole Foods, and Whole Foods never gave me anything for that. They just gained in business. So I really like companies that give you a kickback for a referral. I think that that's important that they recognize that. And that's basically what this company does is when you refer someone and they purchase through you, then you get a kickback, and then they can refer someone and then they get a kickback and so on. So I wanted to share that with you. So if you're doing that, test it out. With the carrier oil, for me, it didn't work. I just stayed in the bed. My cleaning lady was here. She finished. I was still in the bed. Then I was like, I want to get up. I want to film a video. And I was like, let me try just putting the oil on without the carrier. And it worked. So this is oil with a carrier. I don't know what I'll do with it, but I'm not going to use that for headaches. I will just use the actual oils without carrier. So I wanted to share that. And I know that at times on intermittent fasting, there are headaches that come with it. That suggested that you do salt. A lot of people say salt water, but I suggest just take a little bit of salt and put it on your tongue and then drink water, because salty water isn't good. So you can handle a little bit of salt in your mouth, and then you can drink the delicious water. So that's a treat. Today's dinner is vegetable soup. Now I want to show you what they sent me. This week, I didn't go in and order. And I told you that if you don't go in an order, they are supposed to look at your previous orders and order based on that. So this is what they sent me. A chicken, they sent me balsamic mushroom and tomato chicken, and a vegetable beef soup. I have never ordered meat from them. I have ordered vegetarian dishes and I've ordered fish. So I did have ground turkey in the freezer, so I didn't use, they sent 2 beef packets or something. I don't know what was going on with that, but I did put ground turkey in here, but this is what I had. I do want to show you the finished product, but this was my dinner and it is just 17 grams of carbs. It came with sauce. Again, I just don't do sauces. I just like plain food. I love green vegetables, green beans. There were carrots in there that were sweet. This is the sauce and it came with 4 of these. So I'm assuming a lot of the carbs came from that. There were 2 carrots in there as well. So some came from the carrots, but the carrots have fiber, so you get net carbs. What that means is, let's just say carrots have 3 grams of carbs per small carrot, but 1 gram of fiber. You get to subtract the fiber. So 3 minus 1 is 2. So 2 net carbs. So that's how many carbs. So when a food has fiber and carbs, you get to subtract the fiber to get your net carbs. So this is what I had. I'm going to show you the end result. So that is the finished product. This is what theirs looks like. Now, again, they have beef. I used turkey, and they also added all of the sauce. I just didn't put the sauce in. So this has no sauce. I added fresh garlic as well, but it was a delicious soup and I am satiated, and I had that hours ago. So that is really important. The third week 3's tip to stay on track, week 3's secret sauce. Carbs and the types of carbs. Eating whole foods makes a difference. I know that when I first started doing this a couple of days ago, I was like, I just want some orange juice. And I was like, wait a minute, let me stick to this. Let me stick to this now. I can have it later, not depriving myself. It's like, I can have that later. So that's super important. So that was the meal for today. It was delicious. I was glad to have soup because today I'm in my house in Vegas doing a bunch of remodeling, totally new landscaping, new everything, new inside, outside, but it's cold today. It's Vegas cold today. So it was a great day for soup. So I'm happy about that, but they ordered meats for me. So I'm going to go in and let them know, like, I've never ordered meat. Why would you send me meat? But I have one more coming next week, and then I'm pausing because I'm in Vegas now, then I'm heading to Denver, then I'm heading back to the beach. So I just wanted to pause it for a while. And I don't think I need it every week. I think maybe every other week would be better, just because sometimes I know what my body wants. And sometimes I'm like, oh, I just want to have a big skillet. I want to saute some broccoli today. So I think I'll do every other week so that way I'm getting my own foods. But that was what I had today. Those were the meal cards for today. And for the number 5, for the tip, before you begin your day, finish your day. Before you begin your week, finish your week. Before you begin your fast, finish your fast. And you can finish it before you start. The way you finish is you decide, what would I like to accomplish? Where would I like to be in 1 year, in 6 months? What would I like to accomplish in 6 months of fasting? Would I like to have released 60 pounds? Would I like to be much stronger? Would I like to increase my endurance? Would I like my skin to be much more clear? Would I like my eyes to be brighter? Would I like to be happier? What would I like to accomplish? Where would I like to be? How would you like to feel? And so you decide that, where you are going. And this is really important because I hadn't fully decided all of those, how I wanted to feel, because I already feel good. Well, there's no cap to feeling good. So let's look at, what would you like to accomplish? In 6 months, would you like to have released 60 pounds for those who have some weight to release? Yes. Where would you like to be? Would you like to be stronger, more flexible, more flexible? Would you like your core to be more engaged, a little bit stronger? What would you like to accomplish? Is there healing that you're doing? Are you healing your lungs, your kidneys? What is it that you're wanting to heal? There's some of you have high blood pressure or diabetes. Are you reversing those, getting back to wellness? Where would you like to be? Decide what you want and then act as if it is, and then go from there. So you are deciding your goal and then acting as if it is. Someone who has a healthy blood pressure, someone who has a healthy cholesterol, there's a way that they act. There are things that they eat. They're probably drinking a lot of water. They are probably meditating a lot. They are not eating a lot of fast foods. They are really probably eating maybe organic if you're into organic. There are things that those of us are doing who have those numbers. And so how would you act? How would you feel? So decide where you're going to go so that your body knows where to take you. Think of that in all of those terms: your physical body, mentally, spiritually, emotionally. Where do you want to be? And your relationships. Those 5 things. Just decide 5 things so that you know where you're going. And that is the way to begin a fast. So that's our homework for all of us, because I have to do it too, because I had thought more of a weight goal, but not the other goals. So we're going to do that. And I just want to say, just start. If you're thinking about doing this, just start. Dr. Jamnadas said that a 3, 5, or 7 day water fast, that's where you need to go and see your doctor. He didn't mention 1 or 2. That's up to you and what you and your healthcare provider have decided. But when you're ready, and you can just start. I remember I was traveling home from college. I went to undergrad in Illinois, lived in Vegas. So I was driving, it was summertime. I was driving from Illinois to Vegas, and that was my plan. I'm like, going from Illinois to Vegas, get to Vegas, I'll be home. Well, in around Oklahoma City at 3 a.m., my car stopped working, broke down in the highway. I was by myself. So that kind of changed things. So, and that's a whole story in itself that I will tell another time. That deserves its own episode. So I will tell that story at another point. But I stopped. Everything ended up being fine. There were a lot of miracles that happened during that space that I was there. I just have so much love for Oklahoma because of just those miracles that took place there. But took me longer, got back in the car, and then finished the trip. I still got to Vegas. It took longer than I thought it would. I had some experiences that I hadn't expected that I wouldn't give up for the world. So just start. If you have a day where you're fasting and you eat something at night, keep going. Don't just give up. Don't say, I'm just going to eat for the rest of the day. Just keep fasting. Start fasting again. You will get there. Just start. Okay. It's like that trip from Southern Illinois University to Vegas. I had a great, amazing pit stop in Oklahoma City. And again, I wouldn't trade that experience for the world. And I still ended up in Vegas. So just start. I'm on my way to the healthiest I've ever been. I'm starting a new life. This is the 3rd week. I'm on my way. I want to thank you for watching. This is the weekly rundown. You will get the rundown each and every week. I'm Simone Simpson from Wondering Yoga Cafe Entertainment. This is our Sunday rundown. Thank you for watching. I will see you next week, same time, same place. Remember to hit that subscribe button. Week 3.